Jen. My name's host Eric. I'm the host of Talking with Famous People. Talking, talking with famous people. Hmm. I'm actually surprised to learn this. I thought I would be able to just go onto YouTube and find like some place where it says like trending topics or what have you. Not so much. Not so much. I don't really see anything such thing at all. So that's kind of interesting. I guess your homepage is supposed to be like trending topics for you or something. Let me just Google the question. I'm curious about this now. How do you know? How to know what topics are trending? Google's trends. Okay. Trending now. According to Google Trends, we've got a bunch of sports stuff. We got the Diamondbacks versus the Dodgers, Arkansas versus Arizona. Um, like, who's Jarvis Butts? Oh, I see. Well, he killed some lady, some girl, and he's now was found dead in prison. Anywho, I think you know what I'm talking about. That one's kind of depressing. Let's go to the next page of trends. What else is trending? Prices. Netflix prices. Pelicans versus Pistons. More, more sports until we get to Bully Kanye. Oh, his new album. It's called Bully. I see. Here's an album review of it. Might be interesting. Let's see what's going on here in the chat. Because I heard this live stream is a trending topic now. More and more people are here than ever before. Hello, Ruben. Hello, Rachel. How are you doing? So, yeah, Kanye West album 3 hours ago was trending on Google. It's got, mostly a lot more sports, but then you've got sperm whale giving birth. Really? Christopher Preciado. What's that all about, you might ask? Sperm whale fell. Scientists filmed a whale birth. The surprise. Mom had many helpers. Female sperm whales work together during a birth. Huh. Who knew? Christopher Preciado convicted of capital murder. Let's see. Jurors found Preciado guilty on all three counts in the December 2023 capital murders of Matthew Guerra, Savannah Soto, and their unborn child. The jury reached this collective decision after about 2 hours of deliberations. Well, that's sad. I wonder why he killed him. I wonder why he killed him. Let's see. What does it say? What his motive was? Um, it doesn't say. It doesn't say. Oh, no, it does. Christopher and Ramon Preciado. Police said the dispute that led to the killings began with a drug deal. According to the arrest affidavit, Preciado told police that Guerra pulled a gun on him and that he was able to manipulate it so that Guerra was shot during the sequence. Well, drug deal gone bad. That's too bad. They never got their drugs. Drewski Erica Kirk skit. A viral skit mocking conservative women. How droll. Let me look over here. Teddy Klinsman was timed out. Looks like he got in trouble. I don't know what he said, but I do know that he got in trouble. So we're doing a little live stream tonight. We're checking out some trending topics, like Carson Binge. Who's that? Let's find out. Ah, hey, that's another sports thing. Charlie Puth. How Charlie Puth transcended the cringe. Who's Charlie Puth? Okay. We also got Braden Burries. Who's Braden Burries? Basketball player. Bryce James, basketball player. Okay. Basketball player. Somber. What's somber? What is that? Let's see. Who's somber though? I guess it's a tour. Must be a musician, I guess. Well, I don't know why people are interested in this, but I guess they are. We're not interested in that. Charlie Puth's wife shows off new necklace with sweet nod to couple's firstborn baby. The singer-songwriter and his wife Brooke Sansoni welcomed their first son, Jude, on March 13th. I've never heard of this guy. Charlie Puth. Who's ever heard of that guy? Nobody. Pete Alonso, that's baseball. Weezer announces 2026 arena tour with the Shens and Silver Sun pickups. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. We're exploring some trending topics today. People want to hate Charlie Puth because he uses AI. Amistosos Internacionales. That's some baseball thing. Looks like some other sports thing. Alex Warren wins Breakthrough Artist of the Year. Oh, Alex Warren. Alex Warren's chaotic performance in the subway car is the best fever dream. Is it though? Let's find out. Well, I'm gonna listen to it for a little bit, and I'll tell you. No, no, no. Okay. Let's see here. Cicada COVID variant symptoms. 8 hours ago. They will kill you. A co-op from hell. That's a must be a show. Mac Pro. Why is Mac Pro in the news? Apple discontinues the Mac Pro with no plan for future hardware. Too bad, Mac Pro. You're done. Reese Hoskins. Oh, he's a baseball player. Himesh Patel. X-Files pilot casts Himesh Patel opposite Danielle Deadweiler for the X-Files reboot. Wow, exciting news, everybody. Lainey Wilson reveals she was once asked for a backstage pass at her own show. How hilarious. Love Story episodes. Love Story was a slog and a much needed reframing of the Kennedy myth. Bum bum ba bum. Paul Rudd. Steve Carroll says Paul Rudd warned him don't audition for The Office. That was a trending story 3 hours ago. It's like one time this guy said this one thing to me. Who cares? Werner Herzog. He explores myth and reality in a haunting new doc. Who wants to be haunted by a doc? Yeah, I agree with you, Ruben. Charles Bukowski. I don't think Charles Bukowski is trending. I'm checking the Google trending now thing. Malik Thomas. That's a bit basketball. Kenny Smith. Elton John. It's Elton John's birthday today, everybody. Happy birthday, Elton John. You're 79 years old and you're still fabulous. Hilary Duff. Hilary Duff announces Australian tour dates and reveals the unexpected way she relates to Ms. Lizzie McGuire. Wow, that is good stuff. USMNT. That's for the World Cup. Dwayne Johnson. I don't know, boring stuff. Power outage near me. Really? That was trending an hour ago? Northwest Ohio. Gotcha. Hannah Berner. Hannah Berner and Paige DeSorbo to star in Netflix comedy series. Amazing. Tomb. Archaeologists found a 5,000-year-old tomb that may be a gateway to what? I want to know. What is it a gateway to? A gateway to my heart? A 5,000-year-old tomb in China, artifacts from the Dawenku culture, size of the tomb, and wealthy artifacts show the owners of prehistoric king. All right, well, good for him. But you know what I got over him? I'm alive, and he is dead. Okay, see what else we got. Jason Duger. Minor accusing Jason Duger of SA. Jason Duger, wife Kendra, arrested, both facing new charges in Arkansas. I don't know who these people are, but they're in trouble. They're former reality TV show stars. Alright, you get closed out. That's too dark. Brandon Lowe. Baseball. Ben Humriches. Basketball. Fred Hoiberg. Basketball. Isaac Gonzalez. This is all in Spanish. Isaac Gonzalez confirms that the black dress is intended for the premiere. That's what that says. Meta stock. Meta social media stocks sank on fallout from lawsuit losses. I heard that they lost some sort of lawsuit. What was it about? The lawsuit. Teresa Randall. Bad Boys star Teresa Randall detained on suspicion of felony domestic violence. Well, good for her. Mattis Vakitatis, that's basketball. Joseph, that's basketball. Stephen Kwan, basketball. Colorado fired. Let's see. Smoke from Nebraska wildfires blankets Colorado. TBS. That's all in Japanese. Okay, we're going to go outside in a second. Helicopter crash in Kauai. Injuries reported. Buff Bagwell. Former wrestling star Buff Bagwell appears on TNA Impact. Denmark versus North Macedonia. I guess the World Cup's kind of starting. Marcelo Mayer. So that's baseball. Rays. Baseball. Vaccinations. Flu shots. CBB. College basketball. Vaccines. Again. Kennedy's vaccine agenda hits roadblocks, diminishing his clout. Johnny Knoxville. Breaking news, hosted by Johnny Knoxville, the iconic reality show Fear Factor. Okay, who's Bruna? This is all in Spanish. Wow, I guess you include Spanish stuff on this, huh? 3N. Some people are saying buy 3M stock, I guess. Moon Taka Murakami. He had his first home run. GTA 6 release date. Gonna be $70, everybody. You want to spend that much? Okay, let's see what's going on here in the chat real quick. What do you think about Scientology? I don't know what Scientology is. My girlfriend is a bad boy. North Macedonia. It's Hawaii. All right, well, let's go and look at one or two more things. I'm going to go outside and smoke a cigarette. I just thought I'd come online briefly because basketball games were over. Dutch court rules against Grok over AI generated undressing images. Interesting. Influencer Kubra Kara Salan passes away after jumping from Osman Ghazi Bridge. Why did she do that? Huh. Well, that's too bad. That's too bad. What about Ilya Malin? That's a figure skating thing. Nobody cares about figure skating, obviously. National anthem lyrics. 11 hours ago. Michael movie. Oh, I see. Michael Jackson movie. Sal Stewart. NHL teams. Why would that be? Nesson. Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney reveals that her brother is deployed amid Iran war. Isn't that really about Sydney Sweeney's brother? David Hamilton. Today Show. Savannah Guthrie says 2 ransom notes about her mother were likely genuine. UPenn. Bill Maher is getting a prize. Everybody loves getting prizes. Iran starts to formalize a chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz with a toll booth. NASN, okay, baseball, bait show. Pumperdia's bait is heartbreaking and hilarious, James Bond sent up. William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet review. Baz Luhrmann's Joyful Tragedy. That's a play. We're just having a play someplace. U.S. Mint issued a special new quarter. How exciting. Heather Graham. Heather Graham reveals her stance on plastic surgery and anti-aging. I bet she's against it. Otherwise, why would they even have a story about it? KCON. Ryan Stanek. Baseball. Francis Tiafoe. It's like tennis. Rooney Rule. Florida Attorney General demands NFL suspend Rooney Rule because it violates what? Find out. We gotta go smoke a cigarette now. It's kind of addicting, actually. Just going through these Google search terms. I'll put the chat up now. Like Sabrina Carpenter. What's she up to? Shaq shoots down salacious rumors surrounding alleged Sabrina Carpenter affair. Oh, messages. Rumors that he sent Sabrina Carpenter horny DMs. Wow, Shaquille O'Neal. Looks like the cows have come home to roost, and ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. Alright, so I'm gonna go outside with a cigarette. I'll bring my glasses with me. I'll bring my glasses, you bring your asses. So, I believe Sabrina Carpenter is a singer. Yeah, one of those kind of like Disney girls kind of singers, I think. Anyhow, Shaq says no, he didn't, you know, hit on her via text. He didn't say, "Hey girl, what you doing?" Shaq's got a little more strength than that, guys. Come on. I am tired as of a bird. Let me tell you a story, everybody. All two of you. Once upon a time, there was a man named Eric. But at that time, he was just a newborn baby. The year was 1971. He had just finished jumping over the Grand Canyon on a horse, returned the horse because it was a rental horse, and then walked home. When he got back to his house, his parents, who had been frantically looking for him, said, "Oh my God, you're back." And I said, "Well, I told you guys I was going to jump over the Grand Canyon on a horse." And they said, "We just thought that was a baby just, talking nonsense." I said, "No, that's where I was. Anyway, now I'm back." "Are you okay? Are you safe?" "Yeah, I'm fine," I said. My dad said, "I hope you didn't wear a helmet. You know those are for sissies." I said, "No, I didn't wear no helmet. Don't worry, Dad." From the Carpenters. From the Carpenters. That's when I said to my parents, "Listen, I'm going to sing you guys a song. I want you to know that I'm singing it to each of you equally." Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they want to be close to you. On the day that you were born, and angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkled you with stardust and you meow 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 meow. Isn't it? That's a good song. Yeah. Oh, he rescheduled till tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, what birds are they've got wings with feathers on them. Bees have wings without feathers on them. They're like tiny featherless birds. Anyway, after I sang that song to my parents, we could jump ahead a couple years now. I'm around 3 years old. I'm in Vietnam. I'm battling Charlie, the youngest recruit ever to serve in an active war zone, and also the youngest ever to win a Bronze Star for, extreme valor. Basically, There's a whole squad of our guys pinned down. Me as a 3-year-old baby. It's not a baby, I'd grown up quite a bit at that point. And I'd gotten a lot buffer in basic training. So anyway, there I was, toddling. I had just finished getting potty trained. They made me do that in basic training as well. And the corporal came in and said, "Damn it, Sergeant," to the sergeant, "damn it, we've got to get our boys out of there." I didn't even say a word. I just grabbed my shooting, my automatic rifle, grabbed it. I got like some of those military style bullets on a big sheet like that. I got some of those. And I went out there and I said, "Listen, this is as I was walking. Listen, Eric, don't do anything stupid. Don't be a hero, okay? Just you're gonna get in there, you're gonna take out Charlie, and you're gonna get out, all right?" Well, as soon as I got near, I could hear the gunfire and our guys screaming for medics and stuff, and all this like dust in the air from where bullets were hitting the dirt. And their radio was down. They couldn't call in any kind of air support at that moment because nobody knew exactly where they were. So I obviously saw what was going on, and I charged directly over the little embankment where our guys were behind into enemy gunfire. And just with, I think it was with maybe like 45 bullets, I had taken out 42 Viet Cong. So, and that was all of them. There weren't any left after that. So I only wasted 3 bullets, but I suspect that maybe more than one bullet went into one guy. Probably is what happened. Then I threw down my gun because it was so hot from shooting all those bullets, and I went back and I grabbed the injured guys, one under each arm, and they said, you can't carry us like this. You're too short. You're dragging us on the ground," because I was only 3 years old. So I put one in each hand like a tray in a restaurant, and I carried them all the way back to the base. It was 6 miles of very rough jungle terrain, but I carried the machete in my teeth. I just chopped down the jungle in front of me like this as I was running. Then, when I got back there, I commandeered a helicopter, flew back, and got all the rest of the guys, brought them back. Everybody lived except for Tommy. We got Tommy right here in the chest. I did everything I could. Anyway, so skipping ahead a little bit in my life story, because I like to let people know the kind of stuff I was into, what I did and stuff. So, back in the late 70s, I was about 7 years old, and I invented disco. Everybody's listening to all these horrible, like, glam rock 7-minute song bands, and so I said, you know what? Enough of that. Let's start dancing, everybody. And I saw this band with these guys with beards and stuff, and they were playing the same kind of like the Who kind of music, just horrible, right? Chicago. I was like, no, listen, I got it there. I got on the keyboard. I started playing some stuff, and then I had a little boy voice, so I was singing super high. I was like, and they're like, I like that, kid. Like, hey, it's yours, because what am I getting out of this? I'm getting this country dancing. That's what I'm getting. And I'm a patriot. No, I didn't invent funk, but I did invent disco, and then you know, obviously, I started selling a lot of, at the discotheques. No, I wasn't in the Bee Gees. I just gave them their whole identity and idea for all their music. That's all. Uh, because I was basically, and I've always been a philanthropist. When I have an idea, I give it to the world. And the world says, thank you so much. So anyway, after I invented disco and I spent some time as a DEALER, well, my parents caught me doing it. And they said, hey, you cannot be dealing coke. You're 7 years old. This is not cool. And they made me give all the money back to the people who had bought the coke. So ultimately, it was a wash for me. They were happy. They wanted to give it right back to me to buy more coke. But I was like, no, my parents said I can't do that anymore. So after that, we rolled into the 80s. I spent quite a bit of time in the early 80s talking to Mikhail Gorbachev on the phone. He had this whole Berlin Wall thing. You may have heard of it. And I said to him, Mr. Gorbachev, do you really need to have that wall? Think how cool everybody would think you are if you took it down. And I get it. You don't like it when people make fun of that thing on your head. That's totally fair. Instead of from now on then thinking about that thing on your head, they'll just think about how you took down the Berlin Wall. And then I was talking to Reagan because Gorbachev had to go. So Reagan wanted to talk to me. I had quite a positive reputation in the national political community and defense community and so forth. Reagan wanted to talk to me. I said, listen, just be straightforward in your speech. Say, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. And you know what? He listened. Unlike some people who want to like mess with it, he went with exactly what I said, and he got credited for it, and that's fine with me because I'm here to give to the world. Okay. And I think it's true, isn't it, that today we think of Mikhail Gorbachev more for the Berlin Wall than for that red thing on his head. Thanks, Gary the Snail. I appreciate it. Anyway, we're going through my childhood. Now we're getting up to when I was like, 14 or something. The year is 1985, 15 or so, 1986. And not a whole lot happens. I'm just going to school, being a regular kid at this point. I've kind of gotten tired of getting involved in everything. Um, I'm, I'm just into like, getting chocolate milk at the cafeteria at lunch. In fact, I go through a huge chocolate milk phase. I also really like mustard packets at the time. I just eat the mustard right out of the packet without anything to put it on even. So, among the exciting stories, there's also some just plain stuff that happened. Plain old stuff. Like, for example, I don't remember the exact year, but there was this space shuttle that they were sending up into space called the Challenger. And obviously, they selected people from all walks of life to be on it, including me. I was the only student, young person in minor allowed on because of my history with the Berlin Wall and stuff. But I was smart. What I did is I talked to some of the engineers from NASA and so forth before they sent it up, and he indicated to me that actually there were some safety concerns. So I evaluated the data. I can realize, hey, look, we got a serious problem with these O-rings depending on the temperature. When we start this launch, these things could get brittle. They could snap in a bunch of pieces. It can cause a catastrophic failure. And they're like, no, it'll be fine, I was all like, fuck that shit, I'm not going up in that thing. Not until you fix it. Well, they didn't listen to me. And then it went up into the air and it blew up. And they claimed to have somehow afterwards found a soccer ball that was on the space shuttle. That seems... have you ever seen the explosion of the space shuttle? The video of it? Does it not seem odd that a soccer ball that was on there was given by some kids so that you could go into space or something? Does that not seem odd that they were able to recover that? How? How would they recover that? I know it's not a trending topic from right now, but it seems weird. Of course, I don't trust NASA one bit. I'm sorry. It was not my soccer ball, no. But I had written on the soccer ball, this is why, another reason why I don't believe in the soccer ball story. I had written on there, RIP, you guys, O-ring catastrophe about to ensue. And signed it. So I don't think that was on there when they found the soccer ball. That's a pretty good sign that they somehow made it up, Anywho, eventually, I get out of college and it's the 1990s. Early 1990s. Everybody is dressed nice and proper and clean. And I am on a trip to Seattle with my parents to see a college football game. While there, I purchased some flannels and stuff and, stopped by an open mic at the local coffee house. And just as kind of a joke, I play some overly serious music that is kind of cynical and stuff. And then I learned later on that there were two people in the audience, at least two, that I recognized. Kurt Cobain was there, and also the lead singer of Pearl Jam. So they kept sending me letters saying, can you please let us give you credit for this and or come teach us more about how to be cool? And I was like, you guys, I was making fun of that shit. I wasn't trying to, oh, never mind. So I accidentally invented grunge, yeah. That's just one of the things that I've done in my life. Many, many things, obviously. I discovered the moon, also in the early 90s. Prior to my discovering it, nobody ever noticed it, because why look up at night because it's dark, right? So, I discovered it, though, and, I said to the person I was walking with, whose name I believe was Santiago, I said, oh my God, what is that big white circle in the sky? He said, ay, I never seen such a thing. And then I said, well, let's call it the moon. WMOON. The W is silent. But you know what? That spelling didn't stick. I guess the people just got rid of the W for convenience. So that's how I discovered the moon. Let's fast forward all the way to 2026. I made some pancakes. Look up Drewski as Erica Kirk. No, I saw it was in the trending Google things. I don't want to watch it though because I don't like political stuff. Especially political humor. Political humor is always doomed to fail sometimes. Oh, yeah? Oh. Is it all like, wife is dead and divorce is bad? Wow, wow, wow. Did I say hi, Alex? If I didn't, hello. That's what they say. Yeah, they really did supposedly find it. And doesn't that seem weird? Because if you've seen the video of it, it so blew up. It like didn't partially blow up, fully just blew up. Like as blew up as you could get. Equitable. Some sort of company merger. See, Hugh Jackman. See what he's going on. Photos of Hugh Jackman reveal change in Hollywood star's appearance. Also, shocking news: Hugh Jackman calls off the wedding. Well, a lot of stuff going on with Hugh Jackman, obviously. Air Max Day. I guess somebody's selling some new shoes. How exciting. Fubo TV. What's this? Something in Japanese. Or Korean. Looks like Japanese. I want to see what that's about, but I want to translate it. Okay, what else we got here? John Wooden. John Wooden did. How about Kevin Costner? Sarah Pigeon in talks to join Kevin Costner and Jake Gyllenhaal in Amazon. Yeah. Okay, well, that's exciting. Braden Frager. Basketball. Andrew Abbott. Oh, right. That's baseball. Gal Caracol on Viva. Caitlyn Jenner. I don't see anything going on there. Julia Louise Dreyfus. Season 4 of The White Lotus. Maybe we should start watching The White Lotus. Livy Dunn. Livy Dunn is Paul Skeens' girlfriend. Who's Livy Dunn? Never heard of her. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Yale. After a decade as a Yale hospital janitor, she is now a doctor there. What a wonderful story. EPA approved sale of a higher ethanol fuel to try to lower gas prices. Bruno Mars. USC settles Sony lawsuit over Beyonce and hairstyle songs in sports teams' Miaz. Trumbull County. What's going on in Trumbull County? You see, Regional Water Commission proposed for area. That's it. And then Trumbull County Home and Garden Show opens tomorrow. Well, why is this somehow in the in the trending thing? It doesn't even have any stories hardly. Golf. Dartmouth College. Did Leon Black really pay Jeffrey Epstein $170 million for a tax? No. So I guess Dartmouth has a building that was built by some money from some Epstein list person. Jack Quaid says working with Meghan Markle on Close Personal Friends was horrible? I don't know. ESPN Plus. Jeopardy today? NJ Jamie Ding moving up on Jeopardy all-time list with 10th straight win. Well, good for him. Let's go see if there's anything to see in the chat. Geez, cats really do what they want. She's woken me up at an unruly hour just to get fed. Remarkable. That's silly, Ruben. All right, Heather Graham reveals her stance on plastic surgery and anti-aging procedures at 56. She's hesitant about going under the knife, although she admitted she hasn't ruled out the option in the future. Okay, that's such a non-story. Florida Attorney General demands NFL suspend Rooney rules citing discrimination on coach hiring. What is the Rooney rule? Oh, I see. It's an affirmative action rule in football in the NFL. Florida's objecting to it because they appropriately have a law that says you can't use racial factors when hiring. Which they, of course, should. This looks like Korea. How do you translate this? Oh, who cares? Paul Skeens and Livy Dunn almost didn't get together for one hilariously silly reason. Gymnast turned social media star Livy Dunn and Paul Skeens have quickly become a beloved celebrity couple. Before Skeens was one of the most decorated young pitchers in the major leagues, Dunn was already a popular gymnast on LSU's gymnastics team. Okay, well, Jack Quaid says working with Meghan Markle on Close Personal Friends was insane. All he said about her was it was insane working with her, and he quickly pivoted to talking about the rest of the cast of the film. He didn't want to say just how bad it was, I guess. I already read the archaeology one. I already read the Charlie Puth one. Album review, Bully by Kanye West. Ye swore the AI vocals were gone. The album still sounds like nobody's home. Well, it doesn't seem like it's gotten a very good review. Hmm. Well, it doesn't sound very good. All right, now there's this, yeah, called Exploding Topics. Discover trends 12 months before everyone else. Hmm. Snail Mucin. Substack. Well, it's like an expensive thing. Boy Kibble. What does I know about Boy Kibble? The viral meal slop trend. I think that looks good, actually. Looks like chili or something. Ground beef, rice, and a vegetable or fat. That is a good meal, for sure. Boy Kibble, I could eat that, no problem. Steve Wid Steve Witkoff. Export box partner preview. YouTube videos. Why did the search term YouTube videos get? I guess because Mr. Beast has an article about it. Why would that be a search term that's popular 17 hours ago? YouTube videos. Who would search for YouTube videos? And like, you know, I get searching for specific YouTube videos, but who would search for just YouTube videos? Let's see. Remarkable. GGG. Jet, jet, jet. Have you ever played with a Ouija board? I have when I was a kid. When someone tags you, you're it, and they say Rooney, 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 which negates the it status until the next time the player is tagged. Some potatoes in there. Potatoes are a good thing to put in that boy kibble. Clear. Why did the search term clear get that? I could explore. I don't want to explore. James Quincy. AI just one-shotted another CEO. AI one-shotted the CEO? What does that mean even? Should I look at the article? Maybe. Globoplay. Dazn. Newark Fire. Matt Vaskirazian. Congress, Iran. GOP Senator weighs forcing Congress to vote to authorize the Iran war. Axios. 2026. Masters. Paul Jubb. Who's Paul Jubb? Activision. Alexander Mueller. GoDaddy. Court allows discovery into other GoDaddy auction clawbacks. No one seems to be concerned. H-1B visa holder stranded in India. Well, one shot ostensibly. No, I know what that means, but yeah, it's probably hyperbole, is right. Most CEOs are using the embrace of artificial intelligence to cover the layoff staff and cut payroll costs and their efficiency, but a couple are using it as an excuse to lay themselves off. So really, he just says, I'm resigning because somebody who understands AI better should take over the job. That's not one-shotting anybody. That's ridiculous. R-E. Why would re? Trump admits Iran war is unconstitutional, says he's dodging this fucking guy. Trump says he's avoiding using the word war in reference to Iran war, even though he's used it many times. Okay. Well, he said he's avoiding using the word war in reference to the bombardment in order to avoid accountability from Congress. Yeah, he does say that. I won't use the word war. They don't like the word war because you're supposed to get approval from Congress. This fucking guy. What a piece of work he is, I tell you. Okay, if you're aware of this, then well, maybe you should do that. Oh well, you know, what are you gonna do? What time is it? 10:17. It's too early to go to bed. So I'll have another one of these. Maybe eat a little bit more food. I kind of need to eat some food that's not just pancakes. So let's make a frozen dinner maybe, or maybe even I can make a can of chili. That might be good. Let's see what we got. Well, chili, do we have it? The answer is yes. No beans chili by Dennis Sims. This is con carne, which means with meat. In the language of Espanol. Do you want some, Rachel? If you want some, I'll make rice too, and then we can have chili and rice. Okay, I'll make rice then. All right. Well, in order to cook all of this stuff now, we're going to need to get out a pot. Let's light that mess. There we go. Get the rice. in our cup. Still a little wet from when I cleaned it up earlier. Okay, 1 cup of rice. Then put the rice back as per now. All right. One cup of water. Two cups of water. Get this, we'll squish it around a little bit. Make all the rice not float. Okay, put this pot over here. Turn this on. Put this at 8 minutes. Okay. As far as the chili goes, I think I'm just going to heat that up in. I could heat it up in a pan. Could add some onions to it. Probably wouldn't be a terrible idea. Chili con carne. No beans chili. I know this is backwards, but you know, it's regular chili. Bread. Well, we're having rice with the chili, so why do we need bread too? I do think it's a good idea to cook the chili in the pan. Then I can start it with some fresh onions in there. That'll make it better. Okay. So, let's put it in this pan. Alright. Okay. Got this cleaned out. I could just cook the chili in the microwave potentially, and then I could maybe, this kind of sounds good. We do have some broccoli. I could fry the broccoli in a pan with a little bit of wine, some onions, or I could just steam the broccoli. Do you want broccoli, Rachel? I do think I want broccoli. I could use some vegetables. Let's make a reasonable amount. Okay, well, you know, I think steaming the broccoli will be easiest. I think steaming the broccoli will be easiest. Yeah, I think on the side. We'll just have a little bit of broccoli. Maybe I will, like, fry it up in a bit of white wine and soy sauce. I think I'm going to try it. I'm going to try this plan. It's not something I've ever really done with broccoli before. I mean, you know, in a stir fry maybe when I was younger, but I haven't cooked broccoli that way in a long, long time. I think it's worth a shot. I mean, clean this up. With this sponge. And the magical spatula. Ready to go. Clean this off. Okay, it's fun. There you go. Now we're going to get one of these broccolis. I just think we need one of those. Fine. I'll rinse it off. And then we're going to cut it. Right. This part can go into the compost. This will go into the fridge. Right. All right, now what I want to do here, probably not going to take that long, but well, I put the chili in a bowl to put it in the microwave to heat up. Put the chili in the bowl. First thing I need to use the old can opener. Bowl big enough? I think it's full. This will be big enough. There we go. Alright, turn this down as Premiere. Okay, 22 minutes. Maybe 23, you know. Well, I steam it usually. I have a pot that has a steamer built into it, like one of these things. Just put the water in there. Alright. I'm gonna wait a few minutes before I start the broccoli because otherwise it'll be overcooked. Put some chopped onions in here to give it a little flavor. Put some wine in here. Get some soy sauce in here. Now we're cooking. That's gonna be delicious, I think. Yep, you're allowed to use them now, Ruben. You're allowed. No, that wine has alcohol in it, but it'll cook off the alcohol when I cook with it. That's just cooking wine. I get those big bottles of Gallo because they're cheap and I'm not drinking. I'm just cooking with it. Well, let me give it a few more minutes before I start the broccoli. I don't want to get too uppity here. I don't want to get ahead of myself too much. Get another beer, go outside, have a cigarette, and then I'll come back in and I'll start the broccoli. The chili, I can really do it anytime, but I'll wait a bit on that as well. Hi, Trouble. What a silly boy you are. Yes, Daddy knows. And Daddy lives. What you doing there, Eric? Same thing I always do on Loving and Knowing. Those are like two of my favorite verbs. You ever have broccoli salad with craisins and stuff? Probably. I like it. I like broccoli in general. But I've got kind of limited dietary options right now because I'm having to. Basically, it's almost impossible for me to chew. Trying to not chew it all on this side since this thing broke. Ah, that speck dropping style. Oh yeah. When the specs fall, you know I mean business. Watch out. I can see now. I like broccoli in all variety of forms. It's my favorite vegetable. And according to the interwebs, it kind of is, in fact, the number one vegetable, the king of vegetables. How are you cool, Eric? Well, just regular Eric, but I rustify it by 10%, as that lady from The Simpsons said. I watched a YouTube video all about that lady, that like corporate lady who has bad ideas by committee. I'm looking fresh to death. Look at this peacoat. Tell me he's broke. Well, it's not loose. It's just broken half. So, like the dentist said, don't try to not chew on this side where I could chew because I have teeth. Um, because it's only being supported by one implant. My question is obviously as follows. I thought the reason I don't have the final product is because you can't attach anything to the implants until the bone's grown all in. If this is attached to the implants, why not just go straight away with the final product? But basically, I'm not supposed to put any pressure on it because he doesn't want like the implants get janky from me putting too much pressure on it. So I'm following the instructions the best I can. Whole process has been kind of a challenge. With the hold of my sinus and everything. It seems to be more or less healed over. I keep putting this stuff on it anyway because I don't want to put any more pressure on it. All right, well, I guess he thinks this is how it heals best. Alcohol will not completely cook off 40% will remain in the food. That's ridiculous. It's not true. First of all, it totally depends on how long you cook it, but well, it's from where he pulled this tooth out here. Obviously, you gotta let the alcohol boil for a second. But alcohol's got a higher boiling point than water, so that's why it's easy to boil it off. I cook with wine all the time. Yeah, and it does depend on how long you cook it for, but it's also the case that you don't have to cook it for a super long time because alcohol's got a low boiling point. I mean, obviously, if I made an effort to, I could like not cook it very much, and there'd be some alcohol left in it. But I pay somewhat attention to the opposite. Kanye West is live playing his new album. Yeah, he says, hey, everybody, on this one, I'm not using any AI. I guess his last one, people critiqued his use of AI. I'm with Ruben on the matter in principle, but I don't think AI makes very good music yet. Probably will at some point. It's weird to imagine AI playing live, though, right? Maybe eventually there'll be like robots that have AI that play live shows. I guess they'd have to be, programmed by somebody. Maybe some person earning money behind it. Okay. Next time, start the broccoli. We can put the chili in the microwave. 11 minutes left on the rice. Which means 16 minutes because you gotta let it rest for 5 minutes. Right, let that come to a bit of a boil. Put a little bit of sarin wrap, same kind of wrap they use in the Tokyo terrorist attacks. There we go. That's pretty good. Usually I have more trouble than that. Okay. Well, I'd say the vast majority of times right now that people use a fair amount of it is just to make slop, on YouTube in terms of they're using it to do content. I watched a video this morning about a guy who's like super good with computers and stuff, and he worked on various Python scripts and stuff to fully automate a YouTube channel using AI to generate slop. First, he asked ChatGPT, well, what are good things to make YouTube channels about? They recommended famous quotations and surprising facts you might know as channel themes, and then he did one that was human and one that was AI. The AI one obviously pumped out more videos, but and it accordingly kind of outperformed the other one, but sort of not. Like all the human videos, each human video generally did better than the AI one. The AI one just had more, and most of the AI videos got almost no views. Okay, so let's put the broccoli in. Not sure if I even drink this broccoli in and rinse it off. Rinse off this wooden spoon. I use a wooden spoon to stir around the broccoli. And I think the chili in the microwave is going to need about 2 minutes. So, no huge hurry there. I'll get the lid for this so that it steams a little bit. Ta-da! Okay, that's steaming away. Few minutes on the chili should be fine. It, after all, is not frozen, so. That smells good. All right. Well, put this back. Maybe I'll have a little bit of this weed tea. I don't like the fact that that tea has sugar in it, but that's fine. Just a little bit. And like these days, I never eat any sugar. I'll drink this because I can't have the tea at all if I don't drink some sugar. Ready to use AI for music to have an AI create a song and recreate it with real human? Yeah, well, that actually would be a solution to playing live, you're right. Might be a little easier said than done, depending on what sounds are used in the AI music. Okay, that's pretty hot. I think I can carry it over there. Yeah. Okay. I got it. Just looking for a good life, swinging from the stars. This is getting softened and starting to absorb some of the wine soy sauce mixture. These little onions here as well. Okay, well there's 3 minutes left on the rice. Should I stand here with this one, or should I think it's going to be fine if I just leave it for 3 minutes? Better stand here. It seems like you get down to kind of where there's a little bit of liquid. That last little bit seems to go fast. Okay. Cooking up nicely. This seems like it's going to be just about right. timed out with the rice. It should be done in about 2 minutes. I want this liquid at the bottom to kind of turn to a bit of a syrup. Caramelize, as they say, I guess. And it will, because either soy sauce or wine will do that if you cook it down enough. Okay. The liquid's obviously starting to go away. It's not really syrupizing, but that's fine. It kind of is. Alright. Put the lid on this. A moment. Bring this over here. Should put it on the hot burner probably. Alright, now we just need to give this 5 minutes or so after the bell rings. Okay, I'm going to leave it on for another 30 seconds or so. Fire seems pretty low. Maybe even another minute. So, let's see. Keep an eye on my watch here. Let it go for another minute. A little MSG sprinkled on there, huh? That's not a bad idea. Yeah, that's a reasonable amount of broccoli to make. Rachel said that I'm the wine soy sauce mixture. Wow, thanks, Rachel. She's right. My parents couldn't have a child, so they mixed some soy sauce and some wine together. And that's how I came to be. Okay. Let this go another 15 seconds or so. Another 15 seconds and we will call it a wrap on the rice. There we go. Okay. Now, put the timer for 5 minutes. We'll go have another cigarette while we wait for that. And then we'll be ready to go. You ready to this, huh? You're really decent at making rice. I'm pretty decent at it as well. You know, something I've made for a long time. It's a good food to get if you want to get like full. If you want to just get full for cheap, you get just rice and beans. and that'll do the trick. That particular combination, rice and beans, there's some way in which it has more nutritional benefits than when they're eaten separately. They combine together in some helpful ways. I love a biryani. I don't know what a biryani is. You don't believe in crunchy rice, huh? Well, I like to think if the very bottom of it is not a little bit crunchy, then it's a little bit underdone. Of course, it's also very important to let it rest. Give it its full 5 minutes at least. It'll finish it out there in the pan, in the pot, I mean. It's an Indian dish, huh? Native Americans, they prefer to be called Alex. From now on, I think we should actually switch it up. Let's call people from India Native Americans. And let's call Indians Indians. And in fact, a lot of Indians prefer Indian. They don't prefer Native American. Or they like First Nations. Hear that in Canada a lot. Like, that wasn't nations. Those Indian tribes don't count as nations. Nation is a very Western concept. It's made with clarified butter and ghee. Is clarified butter made by just heating up butter and like scooping off the top stuff? Your butter appears to be confused. I'd like to clarify it. It seems fine to me, but it's like a cult deprogrammer who only works on dairy products. This yogurt's been brainwashed. You do not like the cult. Yes, I do, though. No, you don't. The cult is not cool. Ghee was invented by Ronald Ghee. I figured. Some British guy went to India and taught him how to clarify butter. A cult, whichever cult the person's in. Could be Scientology, could be, you know, the Epstein cult. Who knows? Point is, I'm deprogramming you. You do not like to be in a cult. You do not want to give them all your money. You do not want to cut off contact with friends and family. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Well, it could be a cult that's really into the band The Cult. Could be like that weird Oregon sex cult that got banned from the U.S. Could be a clarified butter cult. That Oregon cult that had this Indian dude be the leader of it. Yeah, clarified butter is butter with TI. Of course, this Indian guy's guru guy. What did he really want? He just wanted to bone a bunch of chicks. Their most famous song is called She Sells Sanctuary. Huh. hope her business does well. I hope there are a lot of customers out there looking for sanctuary and that they buy it from her. Or a cult that's really into Clarissa Explains It All. I mean, I'm familiar with the band, I just don't really know their music. Like, they're a band that lots of people I knew maybe liked, but maybe I heard them sometimes and just wasn't taken by it or something. All right, let's eat. Time to eat some delicious food. And some nutritious food as well. I decided to go with both this time. Nutritious and delicious. That didn't close all the way. Yeah. Yeah. They're based in America now, huh? Good for them. They finally got out from under the thumb of that horrible King Charles. Okay. There we go. Now, put this over here. We'll get a different bowl for the rice and chili. So I'm going to put the chili into these bowls. Thank you, AJ. I appreciate you noticing the thumbnail. Put the chili at the bottom to make it actually easier to mix around, I think. Go. The chili in each bowl. Okay. This in there, put that in there. Try to get the rice scooper out. Okay, now get the rice out. And it is a little bit like not super cooked. Like it's not crispy at all in the bottom. So from my understanding of things, this is a little undercooked, but it's fine. It's not like super mushy. It's just I'm glad I let it go for a little longer. Okay, let's put this in the sink. And over here. I'll come back to it. Okay, get some forks. Bring this water off. Bring these, bring this, bring this. Turn this off. Hey Rachel, food's ready. Oh, you're right there. Okay, good. Oh my goodness. What an adventure. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. Thanks, Alex. Got chili and rice. This is well proportioned for 2 people. Got some nice broccoli to go with it. This is a nice, inexpensive meal too. Broccoli's delicious. Came out with a little bit more bite than I expected. Not as done as if I had steamed it. I thought it was going to get pretty steamed in the pan because there was liquid in there and I had the lid on for a good period of time. But not so much. Yes, you're a kitty. And this isn't for you. But I'll let you check it out when I'm done eating. So you can see that in fact you don't want any. It's too spicy for your kitty now.
Do you think tomorrow maybe we can go to, oh, like, I know you have your typing session, but after your typing session, maybe go to Blue Jack and get some pastries and coffee?
Sure. We could do that. need the rice, but this chili's kind of spicy.
Yeah.
I just got teriyaki out as well. With the broccoli, presumably. Mm. So satisfying. Especially with this beer. I feel like Martin from Simpsons when he says he feels like the queen of the summer. He's got a pool that makes him queen of the summer.
Oh, I think you're queen of the summer.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Charlotte's getting foot pets from Rachel.
I think he likes them.
You know. It's so good. Tastes like flavor. Boy, I feel like a new boy.
I feel like a new girl. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Alex. I like it too.
You're a fine gentleman.
Thanks. No matter how much of a gentleman I am, though, I want everybody to know. Don't worry, I'm not part of the English aristocracy. Cheers, human.
Thanks, human.
Oh, the nourishment. My body just didn't even know what to do with all this nourishment. I want someone who looks at me like Rachel looks at Eric. Well, thank you. I appreciate your validation of our relationship. I hope I look at her with as much love as she looks at me.
I think you do.
You know, I'm just not a very visual person, so I don't really look at people a lot. Especially when I'm talking, I really look down so I can listen to and just focus on the words, you know? Mm. Hmm.
Now I can't stop but looking at you.
Hey.
Hey!
Ah. Well, I'm gonna eat all of this food. I'm gonna eat it all, so yeah, I'm pretty full, but there's not that much left, so I'm just gonna finish it. This one. He's fine. He wants food, but he doesn't really want this. He thinks he wants it, but he doesn't because it's too spicy. Too spicy for him. Thanks. Yeah, Mrs. Mom's got me some great hats, including this one. You're trouble. I'm trying to finish this last broccoli. I'm gonna get the short actually. That's all I'm getting on it. Hmm. 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 Bye. I'm from Italy. Made by you know, made by Lanificio FLLI Cerruti CERRUTI. It's Italian.
Thanks, human.
It also says oxygen on it.
watching a movie upstairs, but I want to be in bed when you're in bed.
Right. Well, I'll probably smoke a cigarette. I put these balls in the kitchen. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, and that'll probably wrap us up. But we'll
Okay.
see. I may have a little longer than that.
Okay. Well, do you think it's worth it for me to even watch a movie, or should I just make a playlist on YouTube and eating bread?
Well, I would suggest I'd rather you watch a movie and me interrupt it soon than have you waiting and me go long.
Okay.
So, yeah, 'cause I don't really know what my timetable is. As usual, I'm kind of just in one state of equilibrium, waiting for Essie to somehow just make a determination that now it's time to change. So.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh. Do you mind pulling my cards? Maybe tomorrow?
Yeah, let's do it tomorrow. I was ready to do it earlier, but that book's really small. Hard to read that little book. She got some cards from her friend today as a gift, and they're cool. But the little book has got like the tiniest words in history in it. What do you want, Trevor? You want to go outside? Whoop. No? Yes? Staying here? Alright. Well, now you want to eat. Go ahead. Mr. Kitty, go ahead. You live your best life right now. Yes, you're a good boy. And you set the standard for how food should be eaten by a cat. You bring an old world charm and combine it with a new world verve. Get this hair off of you and into the tray. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. See how much hair I got though. Is it a custom made hat or a custom made cat? It's a custom made cat for sure. I made him out of bones and meat and blood and of course a whole lot of fur. Yes, you're a good boy. He's not really, but I like to tell him that anyway. You know. Sometimes you gotta lie to your kitty. Tell him he's a good boy. Even though you know better. But he's becoming a better boy over time. He still sheds obviously way too much. More than anything could conceivably need to shed. Like, Why do you need to replace every hair so often? Just stick with the hairs you got. He's still eating. I'm just gonna go ahead and put in a little extra time here. Make sure he's had his fill. There we go. Alright, now we can go outside. We can also save some electricity by turning off some lights. Like that. And alright. We're good to go outside. As you may or may not know, this time of progression through the 24 hours is called night. And it is dark. Darkness comes from a lot of different places, maybe. But most of all, it comes from the absence of the sun. Don't worry, the sun's not gone forever. It'll come back tomorrow in the morning. And with it will come new light. Just lock that door. I want to turn off these lights. I like it to be dark outside when it's nighttime. I'm not a believer in lighting up the forest with artificial lights. But I forget to turn these lights off on this side. I want to turn them all off. And I remember to turn these ones off because I can see them immediately when I go inside the house. But the ones over there are easier to forget to turn off because I can't see them from inside the kitchen. There. Now they're off. No, not off the chain, not off the hook, just off. Now it's dark outside. It's dark as vivid. The darkness is as vivid as your worst nightmares. We got a half moon tonight. Half a moon means, like medium light and from the night. Not that dark. It's not as dark as your mom. It's like you can't even really see that it's a half circle in the camera. It looks almost like a whole circle. I assure you it's not a whole circle. A little bit more than half. Well, it's got a couple of like halo things around it. It's because they are projecting holograms into the sky. That's what people are saying about a lot of the UFO stuff on YouTube anyway. They're saying that they are projecting holograms into the sky. Personally, I don't think so. I'm ready to buy various conspiracy things more than I used to be, but it makes a lot more sense if it's like simply advanced military tech or something by somebody. And, some of the things are there's a lot of different kind of things people report in the sky, I guess. Some of them are vehicle-esque and some of them not. It'd be cool to get the answers to everything. Like, you're tasked to some extent with figuring out the mysteries of life while you're here, but then when you're dead, they tell you what all the answers are. Talking about nightmares. I had a very unpleasant dream last night. Aren't dreams strange? Yeah, dreams are strange. What was in your unpleasant dream? You had to eat 100 ears of corn in one sitting? That doesn't sound that bad. Dream could be worse. I get it. That's a lot of corn. Well, I'm out here at night. I'm looking at the sky. And I'm once again seeing how many UFOs? Zero. Zero UFOs. Like, come on already. I want to see some UFOs. I look up sometimes. Why don't I get to see any UFOs? I guess I'll just have to keep looking. Hope that someday the aliens come and land on my driveway and say, "Hey, Eric, we're big fans of talking with famous people." I'll say, "Really? Yeah, we came here to see if you could type us." Well, guys, you know the rules. You're supposed to PayPal me. We don't have PayPal because we're aliens. Well, do you have like do you have cash? No, we've got these alien rock things. Well, okay, fine. You can pay me in rocks, I guess. I hope I'm gonna be able to resell these or something. What kind of rocks are they? They're from our alien planet. Well, it doesn't really answer the question. You know, they're just rocks. You don't even know what kind of rocks they are? Why'd you even bring them with you? Well, we weren't sure what kind of money you guys would take. Well, when did you start watching Talking with Famous People? On the flight over on the spaceship. And what we've concluded is that I'm an INTJ and he's an ENTJ. Uh-huh. Well, not that, it doesn't surprise me. Cognitive functions transcend species. The first thing we discovered on the flight over was C.S. Joseph. Oh, makes sense. That seems a common story. That also seems to transcend species. And what's the story of how I typed some aliens who landed in my driveway? Zorg and he was pretty cool. He was a cool alien. He liked to talk a lot about I like to think of it as a dog or some kind of a pet on his alien world. Showed me a picture of it. Looked like kind of like a slug with like sticks sticking out of it. Anyway, we partied. They smoked weed, so that's cool. Apparently, it's like they have exactly the same plant on their planet. And, most all of them smoke it a lot. One of the things that shocked them about Earth was that not everybody smoked weed. Anyway, we do have another mission while we're here. It's supposed to retrieve all of the alien spacecrafts that have crashed and of all the alien bodies that the government has. Apparently, the government's not been respecting alien burial practices. So they've come to retrieve their dead. Personally, I'm proud of them for that. On their planet, it's considered disrespectful if you don't eat your dead relatives. They came, they brought a fork, a knife. I don't seem to have a whole hell of a lot of dreams. My hopes and dreams were crushed a long time ago. No, they weren't really crushed a long time ago. Everything's fine, you know. Finer than terrible, anyway, which is about as good as anybody can ask. What do I want to be? Like, have some sort of sparkling jet set life or something? No, I don't want that. Oh, I drank half that weed drink. It's kind of, that wasn't really half of it, but maybe a third of it. Those things kind of, I have a mixed relationship with them. I think I drank about the right amount, but they still kind of fade me in a not necessarily super pleasant way, I guess. Rachel loves them, but if you ask me, I prefer to just smoke weed. I think I'll pull a bowl right now. All right, Firecrotch. Time to do your work. It's time to persist in your virtuous endeavor. Do a little grindings from here. Put it in the bowl. And put it into here. Then we will get this lighter out. I could leave the glasses on, I suppose. See what I'm doing a little bit better. This is getting really resonated. Let me clean this off a little bit. Well, I got some of it off. I need to hit it with the rubbing alcohol, but I don't feel like doing that right now. Okay. Let's pull this bowl. And then we'll see what's up after that. Let me look at Crunchyroll. See if there's any cartoon I want to watch after I'm done with this stream. My watch list. Well, easygoing territory defense by the optimistic Lord. There's no episode. So does Sentenced to be a Hero. I'm sure we're getting close to the spring schedule. Been grinding college algebra. Well, you're young, it'll be fine. You're young as a spring chicken and fresh as a daisy. that puts you in a great position to learn. Oh my god, I love learning. Learning's so fun. Well, I don't see too much that's really compelling. It's nice to come out of winter. Yeah. It certainly is springtime around here. It's as spring as it gets. It's been super warm. Right now it's 53 degrees. It's not too warm, but been warm during the day. The Pirates just humiliated Paul Skeens against the Mets. Well, what happened? I know he got shelled in the first inning. I had him on my fantasy team, and I was like, I went to my fantasy team Subway Day and said minus 15. Like, what the hell happened? Well, Skeens got absolutely shelled. So they couldn't even get the national anthem right, apparently. Why do they not? How is it possible that somebody who is hired to sing the national anthem at a baseball game does not learn the lyrics? I get it. You don't always remember the lyrics. It's six calculus here. I'm having some ideas for games coming into focus. It's hard to articulate it though. Just of it is programming NPCs with a system of evolving attributes to govern NPC behavior. I see. And then, like when they accomplish things, you get points or something. It sounds kind of fun. Of course, you gotta balance things well in the game for it to work and be fun. You gotta have the right amount of like different possibilities you can do, the right amount of like if you have to tweak too many variables, then it's gonna feel like work. Well, 2-0 Pirates right off the bat. So Paul Skeens comes out, walks Lindor to start it off. Then Sato dunks it. Lindor gets home. Jorge Polanco. I was thinking of a mind trick perk that allows you to temporarily alter the NPC's behavior attributes. Huh. Well, get AI to help you make it. That's what all the successful people are going to be doing nowadays. Fortunately, I don't have to worry about losing any success to AI because you have to have some first. And I don't. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a wrap. Thanks for being here. Made for a pleasant evening. Talk to you tomorrow.